Hi everybody, these are our answers for the moon, a bird's eye view. There's really nothing new that we haven't learned in this. This is just really a rehash of what we did with golf balls and moon phases, but it brings in some of the things with sun moon angles and the like. Now the first thing to realize is that half of the moon is always lit up, and it's always the half that's facing these parallel lines of light that are coming into us and hitting both the Earth and the moon with the same parallel lines of light. Now this one looks a little weird because it seems like the Earth should be blocking its light, but this is a problem with a two-dimensional drawing. Remember, we also know from golf balls and moon phases that this is tilted, so it's on a different plane than the orbital plane, so that's why this gets light most of the time, but occasionally the Earth does block the light to the moon during an eclipse, but most of the time we can see that, which is why we see full moons. So the first page was just getting this idea of half of the moon always being lit up, and it's the half that is facing these parallel lines of light. Now, the issue is we see it from here. So on number two, or number one here, it says that you have drawn the shaded half, which we just showed you. Show what it would look like from our position on Earth. Well, in this position right here, we would be looking directly at the totally darkened side of the moon, so we really wouldn't see the moon at all. That would be new moon. So position A, you're just going to put in, and you're going to cover the whole thing up. Now position B, when we get to that, all of a sudden we would be able to see from here a little sliver of the right-hand side of the moon. And that's when we're going to see our waxing crescent. We can see a little sliver of it, so we want to draw a little sliver of it right over here, and we want to do that. And I'll do one more as an example, but I think you have the idea. For C, you're going to be looking at it from this direction. We're going to be seeing half of the moon, or one side of the moon lit up, and it's going to be from this vantage point. It's going to be the right-hand side of the moon that we're going to see lit up. So for C, we're just going to go like this, and you can see that this just follows our 8 moon phases and is just what we saw in when we did golf balls and moon phases. So I'll let you finish these out. I think you get the idea from those. Now, the next one says draw a line from the center of the Earth to each of the moon positions, and it says it should look like a wagon wheel, and then draw a line from the center of the Earth to the sun, just extend the base. Now here's what that simply means. That means for position B, for position A, there's your one line right there. And so for position A, you're going to say that that's 0. There's no angle at all right there. It's just one line. But when we're talking about position B, now we have a 45-degree sun-moon angle. And so that's what we put. 45, if I write it correctly, angle. That's that angle on there. When we move to this one, and notice we're always going off this line that goes eventually points off to the sun. When we do this, remember the sun's out here someplace. Our sun-moon angle is now 90 degrees. And so we write 90 degrees. And once again, this isn't new. These are all the kinds of things we saw on our moon data sheet. When we had these crescent moons like this, our moon angles were all small in the 40, 50, 60 range. When we had our half moons, they were 90. We did it when we did golf balls and moon phase. So this really is just the exact same thing as we did in golf balls and moon phases, and we also saw in our moon data. And then does this data agree with the data we saw in moon data I collected? It says explain giving a specific data. Well, we'll do one. We'll do C. C is when I can see the right-hand half of the moon, and right there I can see the right-hand half of the moon, and that had a sun-moon angle of 90 degrees. So right here I could write yes. On 9/25/09, the right-hand half of the moon was visible, and it had a 90-degree angle, just like this right-hand side of the moon that's visible also has a 90-degree angle. So, again, really just a review of stuff we have done already. Thanks for watching.